My name is Wael Jabi. I was born in New York, 1984. I live in Dubai right now. My family, my dad's Syrian and my mother's Lebanese, but my dad's family moved to Lebanon when he was at a very young age. So you could say I'm more Lebanese than Syrian. The main reason I was born in New York is to get the passport. So I went there for a year, lived there, then I went to Montreal for work, for my dad's work, and then they moved us here to Dubai because of my dad's job. I grew up most of my life in Dubai. I went to Canada for university, and then I came back to Dubai to work because to me Dubai is home. Um, I mean, I have I have three other siblings. I'm the eldest of the four, and my family religiously, I could say, my mom prays 5 times a day. She doesn't have the headscarf, but she is the religious leader, let's say, in the household. My dad is kind of like the opposite. He has times of the year where he becomes religious, which is Eid, the major parts of the year. But other than that, he's a he's a pure businessman. So he's. I mean, if I want to describe my dad, um, he's very down to earth and realistic. He's not into philosophy or anything. He's just like, okay, what's it on the ground? What does it look like in front of you? That's what it is. He's not, very into his faith or anything. But my mom's the complete opposite. She's always talking in a philosophical way, and but at the same time, I always look up to my dad because I see where he is in business, in the business world, and how he's made it. He started off. His family was very poor, and my mom, on the other hand, her family was very rich. But now he's actually supporting my mother's family because they sort of ran out of money, and he's supporting them as well. So he became the total opposite. So I look up to him in that sense. I mean, he's a successful businessman, which I want to be. But in terms of faith, I don't look up to him in that sense, which I'm actually surprised I'm saying this because it's the first time I actually realized that that's the truth. I actually look up to my mom for that part. Growing up in Dubai with my friends, religion was I wouldn't say a huge part, but I think Islam with the whole tradition of Friday prayers and praying 5 times a day, it gets you. It's really. I think when I started to pray, which was I think at a late age, it wasn't an early age. I started to pray when I was only 13 or 14, because I started meeting people who actually were religious. Because most of my friends when I was young, they weren't really, they were Christians, Buddhists, Hindi. So I mean, because Dubai is so multicultural, you weren't really you weren't put in a class with. I wasn't in an Islamic class, for example. So I was just in a class with all other people. So it wasn't really about religion. But as I grew up, it became more and more about religion because I started to learn about Islam myself through my mother, through friends at work that were Muslim as well. So, I mean, in high school, if I could tell you the percentage of Muslim to Hindi to Christian, they'd be equal. It wouldn't be a majority of Muslims. So that I thought was, I just realized it now. It's very interesting that we weren't mostly Muslims. But, when I started work, I started, to get to know more Muslim people. And, they'd take me up to prayers during lunch every day. So I started to learn actually with Ammar. He was actually kind of one of my mentors in Islam. And he told me most of the things about Islam. And that's where I started to get in touch with Allah. And I think the reason, the best thing I like about being in touch with God is the fact that I felt much more comfortable. Like I was, like before I would, go about every day looking forward to the next day, but now I'm appreciating the day I'm living as opposed to looking forward to tomorrow. And it just makes me appreciate what I have, and looking forward, to go to heaven and, aspire and be true to myself and be true to others, and just be a good person in general. So that's what Islam taught me. That's how faith was born into me after school and all that. I think it was the first time I went to Eid prayers when I was young. I was 12, I think. I went with my dad. It was the first time I saw my dad praying. So knowing that my mother prays all the time, but my dad doesn't. Because see, the thing is, another reason why I wasn't really connected religiously was the fact that my dad wasn't, and the fact that the father in the family isn't, and the mother is. It doesn't really give you much room to become religious. Why? Because you can't go with your mother to the mosque. As opposed to in Christianity, you can actually go with her to church, but in Islam you can't. It has to be, the males and the females are separated. So the fact that my dad said, okay, but I look up to my dad. So the fact that my dad said, okay, Wael, let's go to the mosque today. Let's go for Eid prayers. You have to wake up at 5 in the morning. You have to come. I said, wow, okay, let's see what this is about. I remember I went, and it was just a huge open space. Like it was basically a flat desert, and they put out carpets everywhere. So it was like an open mosque, and there was the imam at the top talking about Islam and where you should be going with your life and all that. And the fact that I saw my dad praying with me, it was touching, because I felt, although he wasn't very religious, that one moment of my life where I was praying next to him, it was just magical, because I felt, we were always together, we were on the same level, because it was always a father-son relationship. But just that day when I prayed with him, we were on the same level for the first time, and I felt, it made me connected both family-wise and religiously to God, and it was the first time I got exposed to God in my context. So it was the first time I got exposed to, yes, there is a being above us looking out after us, and that you should respect and appreciate life, because this is what He created, and God created all, so appreciate what He's done.
How has your faith changed over time? Like, do you recall at any point in time your faith taking a turn?
Yeah. I think from high school, when I went to university, at least my first year to university, because I stayed 4 years in Canada. My first year to university, I was kind of very out of touch with the religious world, because I was very focused on school, and I was meeting all these Canadians, and we were partying a lot, and I wasn't really connected anymore. I mean, it was fun and all, but there was definitely something missing in my life for that first year of university. Then when I came back in second year of university, I met with some Muslim friends over there, and I saw that there's an actual community that goes and prays every Friday in Canada, in the university. So I started going there. I started joining them, and then I started realizing that, oh look, you've been doing that for the first year, you've been kind of not listening to what God has said. And I mean, I kind of regret what I did the first year of university, but I think when I start to realize again to go back to Islam, it just changed my life again. The reason why I think the first year it's not that I doubted faith or had no faith in God. It's just I guess I wasn't concentrating on. I just wasn't focused.
Do you have any memory of that second year of school when you finally realized that you had faith coming into your life?
Yeah. There's a lot of elements that changed when I started, realizing that what I did the first year was wrong, and when I started praying, it was like a magical moment where, especially that first time I went to the prayer room, because there are no mosques where I went in Montreal, at least the ones where I went, and I saw all these. It was surprising because you're in a huge room and you see all these other Muslims, and you're in a foreign country in North America, in Canada, in Montreal, in a very French province. Sorry, in a very French province, and you look around and your brothers are all over you, and it was nice to just be together as one, you know, praying for the same. For the same being, for the same God, believing in one faith. I don't know, like I'm just trying to express myself, express my feelings. It was like a warm feeling inside when after I got out of the prayers. But everything in my life just changed after that day. Yeah, it was a good experience. I'm very grateful for that day. I think that was the pillar of my life, like a key milestone in my life where things went 360, at 180, took a turn for the good. It all came out of just one prayer. So I was shocked that that one prayer would change my life, but it was just that one prayer, that one Friday prayer that I went with my friends. It just changed the way I thought of life. It made me believe that yes, there is a God. Don't drink. Be good. Do good things. It just changed it.
So after that time, do you recall any time where you feel like where you feel like God intervened in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I think God intervenes with every second of my life, every second of everyone's life. You have urges to do things, and God comes in, and when I stop myself from doing something, I know God's there right next to me, pushing me not to. He's there giving me the helping hand that I need. So yeah, it is about willpower, but at the same time, He's there with me because I believe that He was there with me, because I convinced myself in my head that He's there with me the whole time. I think when you believe in when you believe that there's a God, it helps you with your everyday life. It gives you more than willpower. It's like some other form of power which I can't explain. That's how I feel. Yeah. So I mean, after that first prayer, it was just me and God, and we had to like I had to make sure that he's forgiven me for my sins, and the fact that he's forgiven me, or at least I convinced myself that he's forgiven me, inshallah, made me realize what I owe to him. So it's not that I'm in debt to him, but I want to be one with him, and to be one with him, in my head, I realized I had to do many things that the Quran has taught us, which is, in essence, is to be good and honest and true to yourself and true to others. And that's all that it is. It's very simple. And I wasn't like that the first year, but the second year, once I got in touch with God back again, I realized that God came back into my life. He helped me out. He made me, I guess, because I wanted to, I did what I wanted to in the first year, and made me realize that it was wrong. So that first prayer, it was as if he talked to me. He told me, "Wael, look what you did last year. Wake up and look and see the light. This is where." He told me, "Wake up and see the light, and just be good to yourself. What you did was wrong." So
How did that happen?
how do I happen? How did
Where you got this sense of God talking to you? Were you someplace in particular? Or?
I think it was just after the prayer. So I prayed, and then I went and I chilled with my friends for a bit. Then I went home, and it was just when I was home in my apartment by myself, and I was just recalling what I just did, which is going to the mosque for the first time in a year. It made me realize that, hey, wow, there's God's still there with you, even though what you did was wrong. He'll forgive you, and he'll help you out throughout the rest of your life. You can improve on yourself. So I'm there for you, basically. I guess it was just that feeling, that the warm feeling that you get out of when you start believing that there's someone there helping you. It just makes you feel comfortable and makes you, I guess, happy no matter what your situation is, and you look for the best in life and you keep your head up. Everything. I'm grateful for my family, for the fact that I believe in Allah, the fact that for everything that He's given me throughout my life, and given my family, my friends, and my career, where I am right now in my life. Although I'm still really young, but I hope that everything gets better in the future. So I am grateful for everything that He's given me.
What's your greatest wish?
For me, it like when I watch the news, it bothers me the most that like even between friends, I like something so simple like between Syrians and Lebanese people, and between Indians and Pakistanis. I'll have friends that are Indians and I'll have friends that are Pakistanis, and they're both friends as well. But at the same time, I still feel that no matter what, no matter how close two people are, because they've been brought up in such a way that there's political conflicts between the two countries, and just because of that, they're not at one with each other. My greatest wish is for everyone from all walks of life to just unite and separate differences that they think are differences, which I don't think they're actual different. They're just opinions. Just to not, just no conflict, basically. It bothers me a lot. It really does. Like even between Syrians and Lebanese, and even smaller things like just agreeing that okay, he believes in this thing. Let's respect that. Let's respect what he believes in, and let's let him do what he thinks is right, and I'll do what I think is right. Let's just live together. We all sleep, we all eat, we all want to be happy. So everyone in the end is looking for one goal. So why aren't we in one country? Why are there over 300 countries in the world? What is that about? But I guess, I mean, maybe that's too much of a wish, but that is one of the major wishes in my head. I'm not sure how to answer this, but um, I'd like them to know that there are times where I was doing things wrong, but when I look to God, it fixed itself. I'd like them also to know that there is something called multicultural. It exists. It's not a myth. People can accept people from different cultures and accept the way they live. But if you were to ask what should people think about me, or
What should they know about you?
what should they know about me?
This is Wael. He.
I mean, Wael is a Muslim, but it doesn't stop at that. I don't think the fact that a Muslim makes any difference to anyone. It shouldn't, at least, make a difference to anyone. It's just what I believe. This is my life. This is what I believe in. But I do want to make things better for myself. I do want to make things better for my family. I do want to make things better for my friends. So I'm your typical Syrian slash Lebanese slash born in New York slash went to university in Canada slash live in Dubai kind of person. But I guess, one interesting thing is that between Syrians and Lebanese, it's a huge conflict because the whole political issues. It's just horrible. And the fact that my father's Syrian and he's an original Syrian guy and has a Syrian family, and my mother is a very original Lebanese family. These are pure blood, mixed blood. Here's the outcome: me, Wael. So Wael is just this mixture of two conflicting political background, families from political conflict areas, and I guess I'm just like I guess I don't know. I feel like I can because I can really talk to Syrians and I can talk to Lebanese and I get along with them both great. But I know that when a Syrian talks to Lebanese, I'm sure the conversation can go very nice. But I can always sense that there's some friction between them. But I have a way to just mingle with both, and just the fact that I'm from those two very different backgrounds, makes me understand that, guys, we can work things out. It's not this way or it's not this way. It can go both ways. Just have to accept it and respect it. I guess that's the main thing I'd like people to know about me, is just that I come from two completely different backgrounds and I'm still able to mix with both and to truly understand that even if you come from a different background, we can still work together to make life better. And the thing that helps you understand other people is if you're connected to your God or to whoever you believe in. When you're connected, you understand the goodness of life. You appreciate everything, and that's what God gave us. So that's what I feel. That's what I want people to know about me.
Okay. Thank you, Wael.
Thank you.